The Pitchsider. Pitchside for every game.
Hello and welcome back to the Pitchsider Podcast. Sorry there was no episode last week, but busy week, so wasn't able to get time to record one. But we're back now. Due to also being busy this week, this will just be a transfer podcast, so we will be keeping you up to date with what's going on in all of the world of football. So let's start with some of the confirmed transfers. We'll go through some of the biggest ones. There's been quite a lot since the Premier League has opened. Jude Bellingham go to Real Madrid for 85 million. Now we've had James Milner go to Brighton on a free. João Pedro go to Brighton. The likes of Mohamed Dahal go to Brighton on a free. Dejan Kaloska has gone to Tottenham. He was on loan last season. Kante has joined Al Atta on a free transfer. Chelsea have signed Christian Nkunku. Bournemouth have signed winger Justin Halat. Ruben Neves has joined Al Hassa for 47 million. Chelsea have signed Richard from Phoenix All-Star Academy on a underclosed and will join when he's 18. And as of today, Koulibaly has joined Al Hala. So yeah, there's been a few confirmed transfers. Obviously, as we get into the windows, it's going to be a thing that happens on. But yeah, definitely a lot of deals are going to be getting on over the line over the next few days and weeks. Some of the main topics we want to talk about is Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea have their FFP. They need to sell a load of players by the end of the month. So this needs to be done by the end of the 30th, which is coming up this week. So it would be likely to see players leave. Some of the biggest players that are leaving, obviously we've mentioned Koulibaly and Kante have confirmed transfers, but also Mendy has been linked to a Saudi move, as well as Callum Hudson-Odoi, Hakim Ziyech, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Some of the bigger transfers is Arsenal. They're nearly confirming Havertz in a 65 million deal from Chelsea, and also Mateo Kovacic is joining City on a deal worth 30 million. So there's a number of deals that are happening around, especially around Chelsea. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of going from Chelsea. Chelsea also have signed, obviously, Nkunku, as you mentioned, but they also are very close to join. Nicholas Jackson from Villarreal was joining them after getting 13 goals in their season just gone. So yeah, looks to be an up-and-coming striker for Chelsea to sign. Bit of a cheaper option than some of the players they were linked to. So it'll be interesting to see how well he adapts to the Premier League with Nkunku behind him. But yeah, obviously Chelsea still linked with a number of players leaving. Pulisic going to potentially an Italian club. Lyon are also interested in for him. Aspilicueta is closing in on a deal for Inter. Chelsea look to terminate his contract after he's been a great servant. And also a number of players still linked to Saudi. And also, yeah, Chelsea look to continue their squad clear out. But they obviously are linked to a few players. They've been linked to Kudus from Ajax to replace Mason Mount, who is linked to a move to either Bayern Munich or Manchester United. Chelsea are holding for a £65 million bid for him after they've rejected 3 from Man United already. So Chelsea have been busy this month. Obviously, they want to try and get rid of all of the players before, and then Poch officially starts on the 1st. So it'd be interesting to see who he gets in. But Jackson will probably be his first signing. Elsewhere, Saudi obviously is still linked to a number of players. Anyone that's sort of available on a free or likely to leave, they've been linked to. Most of their transfers have been on a free. But yeah, one of their biggest ones is Bernardo Silva at the moment. They look to offer him an improved contract to hopefully tempt him away. But yeah, in the Premier League, obviously you got Mount trying to leave, but there's also Declan Rice. So Arsenal have had 2 bids rejected from West Ham. One in the excess of 80 million and 190. West Ham seem to be holding out for a £100 million bid, but now face competition from Manchester City, who look to just give up the cash. One of Arsenal's other targets, but also Chelsea's, he's very favourite to go to Chelsea, is Moises Caicedo. Again, Brighton are holding out for 100 million. I believe Chelsea have had a £60 million bid rejected from this. With Kai Havertz moving to Arsenal, this does leave a question where Eddie Nketiah will fit in the squad, whether he is likely to move. So clubs are looking to see where he is going to go and where they can potentially go. Also, French United States striker Bogan, who played in the French league. Arsenal have put a £35 million bid on the 21-year-old's head. So if anyone wants to come in and get him, that's probably where they're likely to go. But yeah, definitely a number of rumours. A lot of people are going to be keeping an eye on this, and especially as the season draws closer, obviously teams start to go into their sort of silly season, but it's also teams want to start to add to their squad. They potentially see some of their prospects in action and want to see. Also, Man City want to bring PSG right back Hakimi to Etihad this summer, and they're prepared to pay a premium. So this would be replacing Kyle Walker if he does leave. He's been linked to a move to Bayern Munich, so it'd be interesting to see where he goes. Inter Milan are closing on a deal for French international forward Marcus Thuram on a free, as he looks to leave Bundesliga. Hilburn in the Scottish have signed Charlton Athletic goalkeeper Joe Walcott in an undisclosed fee for a 3-year deal. Swansea have appointed their new manager in Russell Martin after he has departed Southampton. Swansea have appointed Michael Duffy as the new head coach following Russell Martin's departure to Southampton. Real Madrid have reached terms on an initial deal for a loan for Joselu. He was a former Real Madrid academy player, and he now looks to be their new striker, maybe to replace Benzema. It'd be interesting to see how well he does. They do have a clause to buy him in the next summer if they need to. Juventus have set a £52 million asking price for Casea, with Liverpool keen on the Italian. Aston Villa are also interested in him. After Chelsea have pulled out of the deal for Onana, Manchester United increasingly likely to sign him as De Gea looks to be leaving Old Trafford this summer. United are also looking at Porto and Portuguese goalkeeper Diogo Costa and Spanish goalkeeper David Raya as alternatives. England midfielder Kevin Phillips, who was out of favour of Man City, has emerged as a target for Bayern Munich. It also leads to other players, obviously Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund see Conor Gallagher as a potential replacement for Jude Bellingham, but also Brighton see him as a replacement for Moises Caicedo. So it'd be interesting to see where this goes. Fulham are in talks to sign Seville and Argentinian forward Lucas Ocampos for a £50 million deal. He is entering his final contract in Spain with a New Year let-be deal. He spent the first half of the season on loan at Ajax, but then the move was cut short in January and he went to help Seville win their latest European title. Sunderland have completed the signing of PSV defender Jasen Selt for an undisclosed fee for a $5 million deal, 5-year contract. Bayern Munich, it looks like they're going to bid around 60 million for Mount. More on the Jackson deal. So the contract will be valid for 8 years. So he'll be signing until June 2031. Medicals complete in the first 2 days, with a second medical as of was today on Sunday as we're recording this. It looks like to be a 37 million euros deal. a bit more than the release clause, but they got better payment terms. Man City are closing on a deal for Hussein Gavic. He's now signed personal deals, and it looks like he's going to go for more than 100 million. He will become the most expensive centre-back ever from RB Leipzig. Timber believes Arsenal has the perfect project for him as he looks to move away from Ajax. He was very close to joining Manchester United last season. New Tottenham goalkeeper Fokan will fly to England today in order to complete his medical within the next 24 hours. It looks to be a £90 million Euro loan. PSG have sealed a verbal agreement on personal terms with Lucas Hernandez. Club hopes to advance in talks with Bayern Munich next week. So that's your quick transfer roundup for this week. A little bit shorter than normal podcasts. Obviously, I've been really busy recently. I'm trying to keep this a little bit shorter so we get more time to focus on other projects around the Pitchsider, but definitely stay tuned. Try and keep this as long as we can. Obviously, we will be taking breaks, but we're trying to keep you more informed of this in the future. So I hope you have a fantastic week and see you next week. Obviously, if you want to keep up to date with the latest gossip, transfers, please check out our Instagram, Twitter. Thank you for listening and goodbye.
For all the latest news, transfers and football articles, check out thepitchsider.com. It's the place to be. Contact us on our socials. Instagram and Twitter is @thepitchsider or via email is thepitchsider@hotmail.com.